Support for Impact Africa comes from Our Financial Coach, ranked among America's 11 best financial coaches on the web at ourfinancialcoach.com. United for Kids Foundation, committed to healing the world one child at a time. On the web at unitedforkidsfoundation.org. Frad Consulting, planning and designing services where you are always in good company. On the web at fradconsulting.com. And from Outside in HR, pointing the great companies to the future of successful HR. On the web at outsideinhr.com. And from Wiser Advisory, Africa's leading financial advisory, training and outsourcing services firm. On the web at wiseradvisory.com. And from Nextier, the leading public sector advisory firm focused on agriculture, power, and petroleum. On the web at nextierlimited.com. And from Data Century Limited. And from Total Ascent, empowering individuals and organizations to achieve their educational and career goals. On the web at total-ascent.com. And from Brave Little Heroes, helping kids discover their inner awesome. On the web at bravelittleheroes.com. To support Impact Africa, please visit our website, impactafricaonline.com. Welcome to Impact Africa. Africa has long been associated with needing aid and handouts. Today, you'll learn so much more about this wonderful continent from enlightening stories, people, and ideas. Now, here is your host, Tope Fajin Basi.
Good morning and welcome to Impact Africa. I'm going to try to keep a straight face this next 1 hour because as you can see, I have a guest co-host today and she is a mess. I'm telling you.
A good mess.
Today, I have the tireless Vienna Mbagaya co-hosting the show with me. And I've known Vienna for a little bit. And she's done amazing stuff with the Invisible Neighbors. And she keeps, she's the Washington, D.C.
Oh, my gosh.
Of D.C., of the United States. Vienna, welcome to Impact Africa.
Thank you. Thank you, Tope. Thank you for having me.
So I'm really excited about today, but I want you to tell people a little bit about yourself and Invisible Neighbors, most importantly.
Okay. Well, my background is in public health, epidemiology, research. But lately, as of last year, I started the Invisible Neighbors website, which is theinvisibleneighbors.com. And it was kind of a need that I felt when I first came to this country. And I didn't have images of immigrants like myself who are doing amazing things. So I didn't know who to relate to. And I kind of attached myself to other cultures that were closest to mine, but I really didn't have my own. So I created the website for youth to inspire them to see other immigrants and first-generation Americans that are doing amazing things. And, what's exciting is in the fall, I'm embarking on a campus tour, and I want to reach young students, especially diaspora students, and talk to them about their specific issues that maybe nobody knows about. Maybe their schools don't know about. Maybe companies that are trying to diversify their industry, like, let's say Google, Facebook, tech companies, for them to understand what are the cultural motivations we have, because they're not the same as everyone else's. So I'm excited. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's really interesting. And I wish when I came to America 12 years ago, there was this kind of college tour, because I feel like I just came in and I was just pushed right into it. And, everything from the financial part to the cultural part to even my accent, was kind of a challenge.
Exactly.
And then when it came time to looking for a job, I was just a mess because I didn't know, I didn't understand the culture. I felt like I'd walked to Nigeria, so I should be able to just work here. Yeah. But it just didn't turn out that way.
And also, kids growing up in immigrant households here, they kind of navigate dual cultures, and nobody gives them credit for that. At home, you're one thing. When you step outside, you're a different thing. So you kind of have to, be able to balance both and know how to, reconcile those two cultures and know where you fit in. So a lot of kids are going to school kind of just blindly doing whatever their parents want them to do because their parents have sacrificed everything, their jobs, their families, their identity. Property, their identities to come here. Yeah. So if you're going to go to school, you need to do better than me. But, in this, American culture, you have to really align yourself with your strengths. So my message to them is, find out what your strengths are and align yourselves now when you're in college. Don't just go in blindly trying to impress people. And it's gonna be for the better when you go into your career. Unlike us
when we came here and then had to jump in. But that's why today's show really is very interesting and is very relevant that you're here, because our guests today are people who are trying to make sure that the world is just one place.
Exactly. I love it.
And, there's no better way to do that than education.
Exactly.
We're going to really talk to some very interesting people today. Yay. Trust me. And the first interesting guest that I have, I would like to call her Dr. Pauline Muchina.
Yes.
So, Pauline, welcome to Impact Africa.
Thank you very much, Tope.
And, honestly, I have to tell people that the first time I ever met you, I was teaching a financial management class. Mm-hmm. And Pauline, the class was about to end at 9 p.m. It was in D.C. And Pauline put her bag on the table, to leave.
She's about to leave, yeah.
And I saw the most beautiful bags ever.
Yes.
And, please, can I have one of those bags? Because one of the bags that caught my eye, this is it. Handmade.
Let me see if it matches my shirt.
Yeah.
I won't keep it.
You can't have it. It really does match.
Yeah, I love
but
it.
I don't think you can have it.
Oh, look at that one.
But these are really beautiful. And they're beautiful not because, just because they're handmade and, they're made with these pretty beads and all that, but because there's a very nice story of social enterprise behind, these bags. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Thank you very much for having me on the show. This project started as an initiative that my sister was doing, but now it has expanded to other people in the community. We saw the need where women don't have any income, and they were waiting for me to help them out with sending their kids to school and buying food for them, medical services and other things like that. But then I realized there was so much potential where they could actually work for themselves to earn a living without waiting for handouts. So they started making these handmade beaded purses from Kenya. It's made by women, poor women who have refused poverty to define them. They are defining poverty, and they are doing it with their talents and their skills.
You know what? I need to stop you there because I like what you said. They refuse to let poverty define them. They are defining poverty. And that is very strong because, somebody says, oh, people who live on less than $1 a day, and then that's it. You're in a category. But now they're saying, no, we're not in any category.
Yes.
We can do something, and they're doing something really amazing.
They
really
are
beautiful.
doing something amazing. They take it to local markets, but they don't get enough returns. But when we sell them globally, especially in the United States, then they are able actually to earn an income that can help them send their kids to school and get food, get shelter, health services, and at the same time support other kids in the community. So some of the proceeds from the products are actually going towards supporting. We have 16 children right now, 6 in the universities.
Wow.
We have others in primary school and also in secondary schools.
Amazing.
So that's the African Beads Initiative, right?
Yes, and the kids project is Future African Leaders Project. So because go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, tell us about that. Tell us about who's part of it and how it evolved over time.
It started with my own initiative. I saw the need in my community, and I decided that I would help children who are not able to stay in school because either their parents have died of AIDS or, their parents are too poor. They are women living with HIV and not able to do it. So I was using my own salary at first to do it.
Wow.
But it came to a point where I left the UN and I didn't have the UN salary anymore. So it was kind of challenging to continue doing that. But one of the most important thing with these children, 16 of them right now, is that we are not only keeping them in school, we are changing their mindset. We are creating leaders who care about their community, who care about gender equality, who will avoid gender-based violence. That's the kind of community I want to build in my community, especially starting with the young generation.
What I like about your story, Pauline, is that you took your background, your professional background, and you applied it to your own community back home. So tell us about your background, because it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I know.
Say it again.
I'm not sure, but
it is impressive.
it was the need from a very early on age where I wanted to do something that would transform my community. So I thought, oh yeah, being a theologian, because I could see the impact of religion in my community. And I wanted to use religion to transform my community, especially on women's rights. You know, so I became a theologian. But in the course of that, I was able to focus on poverty eradication. So my whole dissertation was on poverty eradication. And then I've actually worked on HIV and AIDS. I worked for UNAIDS for 7.5 years and worked on empowering women to protect themselves from HIV infection, worked on helping people who are living with HIV to live positively with HIV, and more importantly, to help children who are either HIV positive or have been left behind by parents who have died of AIDS. And you know, that's a huge challenge for us in Africa.
And you know, it's very interesting that you talked about religion, because now in Africa, when we talk about religion, it's about violence. And I always say to people that when the missionaries of every faith came to Africa, they actually came with hospitals, they came with schools, they came with, you know, messages of peace. And that's how come, you know, we were able to embrace their religion. But now in Africa, once you hear people are killing one another, it's because of religion, and I cannot even understand, you know, why that is the case. So I'm very impressed. And one thing I like about what you're doing is that you're taking the problems and you're weaving almost like you're making a bag around them, you know, solving poverty, illiteracy, you know, gender,
economic empowerment,
violence, yes, you know, all in one, and tying it all to these beautiful purses. I'm telling you that.
The women should hear it. The women who are
I'm hoping they're watching in Kenya, and I'm hoping that, you know, they can watch this on YouTube and listen to the podcast later on. But if I want to support this, because I think this is what people should support. If I want to support this in America, is there a place where I can buy these bags?
Yes, we've created a website. It's www.africanbeadsinitiative.com. So you can go on the website, and from the end of July, you will be able to actually purchase the bags.
Wow.
You can also get in touch with me, pmuchina12@gmail.com, and I'll be able to direct you how to get them.
And I think this should sell. I think we're getting to the world where we all have to be conscious consumers. You know, one of the panelists on the show last week, he was saying this about Africans, especially Africans in diaspora. We have to begin to vote with our money, with our purses. And we are not used to doing that. If I want to buy a bag, I think one of the things that should be important to me is buying a bag that, you know, something that is beautiful. Like, look at this. This is amazing. This is beautiful.
So that's I'm not
going to pass it on to you, because no. We know how this is going to work. But you know, to buy something like this, not just because it's beautiful, but because of the lives that will be transformed.
Exactly.
That's true.
You know, as a result of this happening. But what are some of your challenges that you face?
Well, actually, some of the challenges is that people think that if something is made in Africa, it should be cheap. So when you price it, they are like, you know, where did it come from? It was made in Kenya. Oh, then $10? And I'm like, no. You know, this is not cheap labor. They have put so much effort in making this, and they are struggling to survive. So I want people to respect that. And products from Africa are not cheap products. They are very beautiful products, and they've been created with a lot of skills, you know, and expertise.
Look at this.
They should be paid a good price so that they can live a decent life.
Yes.
And that's where that's one of my biggest challenges.
Pricing.
And I think, you know, in terms of Africa, I think we have so much to offer to the world. But we are always looked as if we are waiting for people to help us. But what we need is a chance to play in the global market, to participate in the global market on an equal footing. You know, and so when you think of trade initiatives such as AGO, you have to ask yourself, is it really providing the right channels for Africans, not just high-level Africans, but all of Africa to be able to participate in the global market?
Wow. And it starts with people like you.
Absolutely.
Just one person.
We're trying. There's so much to do.
One step at a time.
I know. That's one of the frustrating things about, you know, talking about African development, because you feel like it's like a torn fabric. You mend one place and the other place is broken. But, you know, the truth is, it starts with, like Vienna said, it starts with people like you people like me. And also, I think this is where Invisible Neighbors is very relevant, because once you tell the story of neighbors like Pauline,
I always say that. Yeah. It's. I would say it's a personification or personifying the immigrant, instead of us being those people who are sneaking in from the border, or people who are coming into the country illegally and having labels put on people. Why don't we talk about their lives? What have they done once they got to America? You know, what are their lives like? And with that, we're just talking about our differences is how we connect with each other. Because a lot of people who approach me about the Invisible Neighbors and are moved by it, or the stories resonate with them, are not immigrants or first-generation Americans. That's how I know. You know, that's the point. By talking about our unique issues, we're able to connect with other people, and we see how it's all universal. We're all connected.
And they are so talented. They are highly educated.
Yes,
they may be doing, you know, manual jobs because they don't have
the paperwork,
and stuff. But majority of them also have paperwork. But there are also challenges in this country as being an immigrant. You know, there are so many issues, even the issues of race and all of that actually challenge immigrants in terms of getting work.
Exactly. Think of every cab driver you've spoken to. I always say that. Every time I go in a cab, especially when I was in Boston, when I was at Boston College, it was most of the drivers were Caribbean. And when in New York, most of them are maybe Middle Eastern. And then when you come to DC, majority of them are Ethiopian maybe, from East Africa. And when you speak
Baltimore,
to them,
they're Nigerians. Come on.
I didn't know.
I'm sorry with you.
I can't. But when you speak to them, which you should, when you open up and you talk to them, you'll find that most of them were not cab drivers back home. They're highly educated. They have great degrees. And when you come here,
terminal degrees.
There's a bias. There's a bias here when you have an accent. You know, you know how nervous I get when I'm speaking to an interview and my accent comes out. I'm like, oh
no, Vienna. For you, I think the problem is because you speak to them in Swahili.
Oh my gosh,
she tries to do that to me. I don't even understand the language.
You know, I know my problem is
that's how she expresses herself.
Yeah,
but
it's love.
She also has very good English. So.
A little bit. It's love. I think it's the primal love. When I see certain people, I think of home and I connect so easily and my mother tongue comes out. So when I talk to Tope, she's Nigerian. I don't care. I just talk to her in Swahili like, oh yeah, everything is great. How are you doing?
Honestly, I think in Yoruba as well, so I can't even judge you. But I really want to give people the website again, because I think these are bags to buy, and these are bags to buy to change lives. And it's
AfricanBeadsInitiative.com.
AfricanBeadsInitiative.com. We're going to tweet this as well. So follow us on Impact Africa. We're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we're going to talk to somebody who is doing amazing work in Africa. Please don't go away.
Support for Impact Africa comes from Our Financial Coach, ranked among America's 11 best financial coaches on the web at ourfinancialcoach.com. United for Kids Foundation, committed to healing the world one child at a time. On the web at unitedforkidsfoundation.org. Frad Consulting, planning and designing services where you are always in good company. On the web at fradconsulting.com. And from Outside in HR, pointing the great companies to the future of successful HR. On the web at outsideinhr.com. And from Wiser Advisory, Africa's leading financial advisory, training and outsourcing services firm. On the web at wiseradvisory.com. And from Nextier, the leading public sector advisory firm focused on agriculture, power, and petroleum. On the web at nextierlimited.com. And from Data Century Limited. And from Total Ascent, empowering individuals and organizations to achieve their educational and career goals. On the web at total-ascent.com. And from Brave Little Heroes, helping kids discover their inner awesome. On the web at bravelittleheroes.com. To support Impact Africa, please visit our website, impactafricaonline.com. You are listening to Impact Africa. To connect with the program, please call 1-443-499-2755. That's 1-443-499-2755. You may also send an email to info@impactafricaonline.com or tweet @UImpactAfrica. Now, back to our show.
Welcome back to Impact Africa.
You are listening to Impact Africa.
And that was, a fun segment that we had with Pauline Muchina. I hope you'll go to their website and support the initiatives. Before I introduce Kristina properly, I want to show a brief video because that video is going to say a lot about what she does. So, enjoy this.
My name is Sarah Pia, a teacher of KD Presby Primary 4. It engages them all the time. I have had students who have improved in their writing, their speaking ability, and then their reading ability.
Sitting with Ma and the children. I am going to see Papa in the village. Since I have the e-reader, everything has really changed.
So what has changed?
My reading has changed.
Using the e-reader, they are searching, they become curious.
I like reading with my grandmother. He got off his nice new bicycle and leaned it against the wall.
Oh, Charles!
It has helped build their vocabularies.
Passionately means having, showing, or caused by strong feeling or beliefs. I'm passionate about reading.
Welcome back to Impact Africa. That video made me emotional for many reasons, and this was not even the first time I was watching it. Kristina Lee is one of the partnership development managers at Worldreader. And I want to tell you how long I've known Kristina. This is the first time we're actually meeting, but I feel like I've known her for a long time. My friends and I have a foundation in Nigeria that deals with children's education, United for Kids Foundation. And our primary program is libraries. And so we decided that the cost of shipping books was just a lot. And somebody told us about Worldreader. So I think I contacted Worldreader in 2010 or
2011. You've been chasing us for a long time.
Yeah. And I was like, can you, bring this e-readers to Nigeria? And I can say that we're almost there. E-readers are going to go to Nigeria live very soon. But Kristina, welcome to Impact Africa.
Great. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you.
What is Worldreader?
Worldreader, thank you for showing that video. It shows a very good depiction of what Worldreader is. And oftentimes, like we were saying before, you need to see the images and the videos and see the stories of how we're impacting lives there. Excuse me. But Worldreader is a nonprofit organization, and our mission is to bring digital books to children, communities, and their families so that they finally have the resources to improve their lives. And we're doing this through technology, right? We're doing this using e-readers such as Kindles and also mobile phones. So using existing technology, right? So we have the platforms to deliver books in a very instantaneous and also very cost-effective manner. And I was there. I was in Kenya and I was in Tanzania. And I got to see it. And I got to see all of these children, adults, teachers, community members, leaders of the government there at our programs, many of whom had never seen technology before. And they're there. They get it. They get it within minutes. They're reading. The children are reading storybooks, textbooks, and then telling us that some of their favorite aspects of the e-readers are the atlas or dictionaries, or table of contents of all things. So whatever works to get them reading, we will do that.
Yeah.
But you know, that's really, really special. And it makes, this kind of thing makes your work easier.
Oh, yeah.
Because by the time those kids are coming to America, because the world is now such a global village.
Exactly.
They are able to get here and they feel like they're part of this world.
Right.
You know, but there's something I want you to talk about. And this is how Worldreader started. Because, you know, that story touched me. Yeah. And this is the reality of so many kids around the world. So can you tell us a little bit about that? Sure.
I'll tell you where we are right now. I mean, we have impacted 184,000 people since 2010. And we've delivered 1.78 million ebooks throughout the whole world. But it started with our co-founder, David Risher, when he went on a family trip to Ecuador with his family. And he went to a girls' orphanage and was walking around the grounds and saw a shed that was locked up. And he asked his guide who was there what was in the shed. He said, "Oh, books. But I can't find..."
Americans are very curious. Hey,
what's in there?
Tourists pointing stuff out. Yeah.
We like looking at sheds, apparently. So
Locked. Yes.
Locked sheds. But there was a book, and she couldn't find the key to it.
Oh.
Right. So literally lack of access to resources and material. So David is a former Amazon and Microsoft executive and co-founded then Worldreader with Colin McElwee. And so they decided to bring 20 e-readers to Ghana just as a pilot test to see. They hand carried it in their bags and just wanted to see if it would work. Yeah. And it made sense to start there, just looking at the literacy map. And Africa is the place where we can make the biggest change and has the greatest need. So he goes to Ghana with 20 e-readers. He goes into the classroom. Like I was telling you earlier, the kids just get it. Yeah. And then the adults were there too. And then he said he was so fascinated to see the children sitting there teaching the adults. Aww. And that's one thing too, is that Worldreader is, right, you're providing the access, but also creating a reading culture that was not there before. So now we have adults who have gone to our programs or have seen the launch of our programs. And they tell us, "I wish I could go back to school because of these e-readers." Wow. And they're encouraging their students to stay in school because of the e-readers. Yeah. So that's how it began. And then we started in Ghana, then went to Kenya, expanded now to 9 countries throughout Africa. So it's Ghana, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Malawi, Rwanda, South Africa, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Nigeria soon. Nigeria soon.
Okay.
Yeah, watch the space.
That's
They're
right.
coming to Nigeria. No, but honestly, there's something that you said that we saw in the video, which is the kids are teaching the adults. If you remember the one who was reading to his grandmother, the grandmother was absorbing it. Yeah. And I had a conversation with the professor of early childhood education earlier this year. I was telling her that in our libraries, we have kids who are 15 years old in 6th grade who can't read. And she said, "When do you start teaching kids to read?" I said, "Well, maybe when they are 8, 9, when they come to the library." She said, "No, you have to start teaching them when they're little, when they're 0, 1, 2. Yeah. I said, "But the mothers are illiterate." And she said, the kids don't know that. The kids don't know the mothers are illiterate. Yeah. So she said, if you want the kids to read when they're 15, you have to get their mothers into the libraries early. Right. Exactly. And I think the e-reader is going to allow us to be able to do this.
And you know, go ahead.
I need to ask you about what is the content in the e-readers? Is it consistent in all of them, or is it different depending on the age or the school or the area?
It's different based on whatever partner we're working with and what the needs of their school is. So, so we have over 6,000 titles in our library. And, you know, there is a misconception, like we were talking about earlier, that perhaps we just want to send American or international content only. That is completely false. Actually, our library is 70% African titles, 30% international. I see. So then we work with our partners on the ground, and we ask them what the age range is, what the needs are, if they need textbooks, if they would like storybooks, if they want to learn about specific genres. And this is one of my most favorite parts, because we can put more books about health, for example, like Kofi Goes to the Doctor, Where There Is No Doctor, books about disability if we want to. There's a book called Disability is Not an Inability. And children with special needs are reading these books. I get the chills talking about it, right?
Wow, I know, me too.
Yeah, and then books about Africa, right? Tales of My Motherland, or I Am an African. We even publish a lot of the African publishers come to us and they tell us that we were looking for the right platform to publish our books, and then we heard about Worldreader. So now,
wow,
Worldreader.
This is interesting, and I can sit here all day talking about this because this is just important when you're talking about children with disabilities. You know, reading. In Nigeria, at least I can talk from Nigeria and our experience with United for Kids Foundation. Having a disability and coming from a low-income family is almost like a death sentence. And, you know, it's with the Worldreader, you know, getting to Africa, I think this is really important. But one of the things that I want you to talk about is because, like I said, I've been chasing you since 2011.
You know everything.
Yeah. And the reason why we haven't done this until now, because we're doing it this year, is because of the cost. But the costs have come down significantly.
It has.
You know, how have you been able to manage that?
Yeah, you know, it's based on Moore's law and just and economics in general, right? When Worldreader was first beginning, Kindles cost about $400, $300. Yes, a very cost-effective program now. But over time, over these 4 years, we can now purchase an e-reader or a Kindle for $50 to $80. And combine that with the dropping price of technology, as well as the fact that we have a very stellar team that negotiates very hard with all of our suppliers, Amazon, our case distributors, and then our publishers, many of whom actually donate their books to us or give it to us at a discounted rate. So Worldreader is doing a lot and working with all these different entities. And then, of course, working with governments and sponsorships and sales to actually deploy and get these e-readers out into the field. So, you know, I also wanted to tell you it's not just about e-readers, too. We have the mobile phone application. So we have a lot of partnerships, too, working with Nokia, upcoming with Microsoft. So Worldreader is really, it's creating a reading revolution.
You know, I have to ask, going back to the special needs, and I told you about Enable. It's IN-Able.
That's right.
And it's a program, it's a nonprofit in Kenya. They're actually based in the U.S., but the founder is Kenyan. And they're raising money because they need more e-readers for students who are blind. And I don't know why, but it never occurred to me that technology can actually be that, you know, it can penetrate pretty much every demographic, including, you know, students with special needs. So could you tell us about your partnerships with organizations such as Enable?
Yeah, definitely. In terms of just the special needs, we've worked with many different models of the e-reader, of the Kindle. So one of them has text-to-speech, and that's how we're reaching these children with special needs.
Text-to-speech.
Yeah, and right now, well, when we're using the Kindle Paperwhite, for example, many of the deaf children that we work with, like I was telling you earlier, they're able to finally read, and it's not just that they're reading by themselves, they're sharing, they're sitting together, they're sharing, they're communicating, and it's also opening up the lines of communication with their teachers, with their adults. So that's just one of the partnerships within special needs and special education. But we work with so many different demographics. I mean, we have so many partnerships right now, funded many by the Gates Foundation, UNHCR, USAID, and we have field staff in Ghana and Kenya who go and visit our projects, and they send pictures back to us, and it's, you know, with partners on the ground where students have no shoes, and they sit under mango trees, and they're reading e-readers and e-books to each other, you know, or you're, awesome. You know, I was in Kibera, and they're taking their e-readers home. They're taking their e-readers home, and people ask, is there theft? Is there breakage?
I'm concerned about that one.
Right? It is a concern. But one quote that just really struck me was, you know, speaking to the leader of KGSA, the Kibera Girls Soccer Academy, there he said, everyone in the community knows that this e-reader is their ticket out. It's their education. It's their ticket out. Yeah, so we have some just very fantastic partnerships. We're 4 years old, so many of them have started with us from the beginning and have started and just grown more and more and added more e-readers, added more e-books. And then foundations and people like Tope are coming to us. So.
I'm telling you, United for Kids Foundation is happening this year. We're very excited. We've raised the money for this. And honestly, we'll be talking more after the show because you and I are meeting after the show to talk about taking you to Nigeria. And, honestly, not just to take the e-reader, but to take, Worldreader partners to Nigeria to see the impact. Right. You've made impact in many countries in Africa, but I tell you, when something comes to Nigeria, it is big.
Oh, I believe it. If you're leading it, it will be.
It is big. But thank you so much for being on the show today. And I look forward to following you. Worldreader.org. Just go there. The video section. Yeah. You'd cry. You'd laugh. You'd be encouraged. You'll be inspired to impact Africa. Before I take a break, I want to talk about the Afrotunity of segment for this week. And this is sponsored by the AfricanDevJobs.com. We always complain the African jobs are not taken by Africans. If you want to take an African job, a development job, go to AfricanDevJobs.com, put your resume out there. There are recruiters who are looking for Africans in the diaspora, especially who want to go home. But the opportunity for this week is the Google Code School Learning Opportunity. We were at the UN and they were talking about where are the women in tech.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's a
just
big
last
one.
week, yes.
Yeah.
And this is an opportunity. The Code School Learning Opportunity is part of Google's commitment to diversity. So they'll be Google will be accepting applications from interested women and minorities from anywhere in the world who want to learn how to code for free.
I signed up.
Free. See, she signed up.
Yeah.
Free of charge. These opportunities are available to all underrepresented groups in technology. African Americans, Hispanics, Native Americans, people with disabilities, women, and veterans. So where do you go? blog.codeschool.com. There is no deadline announced yet. Mm-hmm. But if you're reading this, I'm sure everybody else, if you're listening to this, everybody else is listening. So you better go there. Yeah. blog.codeschool.com. So if you're a woman, this is an opportunity for you to get there. Yeah. The next Facebook, the next Twitter has to come from a woman. How about that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think it's a great initiative because, last week or 2 weeks ago, LinkedIn and Google and some other company came out with their diversity numbers, and they were pretty horrifying.
Wow.
There's very little diversity. And I think by next year when they release their new numbers, they ought to be new. They ought to be different. And I think they're trying everything, and I think it's a great initiative to kind of change those numbers.
And this is going to be one of those things that will change it for sure. I should learn to code, but I'm not sure, I'm teachable.
What?
But I'll try.
Tope.
I'll try.
Why would you say that?
We believe.
We believe in you.
You do? Okay, I'm going to try. Okay, so I'm going to try. But you can see I'm having a lot of, fun here. We're going to take a brief break. When we come back, it's going to be the Africa 101 segment. Don't go away.
Oh, Jesus.
Africa comes from Our Financial Coach, ranked among America's 11 best financial coaches on the web at ourfinancialcoach.com. United for Kids Foundation, committed to healing the world one child at a time. On the web at unitedforkidsfoundation.org. Frad Consulting, planning and designing services where you are always in good company. On the web at fradconsulting.com. And from Outside in HR, pointing the great companies to the future of successful HR on the web at outsideinhr.com. And from Wiser Advisory, Africa's leading financial advisory, training and outsourcing services firm on the web at wiseradvisory.com. And from Nextier, the leading public sector advisory firm focused on agriculture, power, and petroleum on the web at nextierlimited.com. And from Data Century Limited. And from Total Ascent, empowering individuals and organizations to achieve their educational and career goals on the web at total-ascent.com. And from Brave Little Heroes, helping kids discover their inner awesome on the web at bravelittleheroes.com. To support Impact Africa, please visit our website, impactafricaonline.com. You are listening to Impact Africa. To connect with the program, please call 1-443-499-2755. That's 1-443-499-2755. You may also send an email to info@impactafricaonline.com or tweet @UImpactAfrica. Now, back to our show.
Welcome back to Impact Africa. And, of course, when you have somebody as interesting as Kristina here and Vienna, yeah, you realize that there's some things that you didn't talk about on air. And I wanted to quickly mention one thing about the privacy of the, e-reader, which Vienna made a very good point of talking about, how it helps
with the stigma, with the literacy.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's nice to have the convenience and just that individualism of holding your own e-reader. So, adults can go to our community centers or to our libraries and read and not know that they're under that stigma of illiteracy. And specifically using their mobile phones, though, through a Worldreader mobile application, they can read their books while they're hopefully not driving, but walking or at home.
Hopefully not driving. Do not use your e-readers when you're driving.
Or your phone, anything.
Yeah, nothing. Okay, so now we're going to get to the Africa 101 segment, and this segment is sponsored by the African Memory Game. So if you like the questions, you like to engage Africa, go to the AfricanMemoryGame.com and get yourself one of these quizzes. You can use it for anything you want: baby showers, bridal showers, birthday parties. Anything else. Instead of asking, all these tired questions that we ask at the showers, how about we try Africa 101?
Yeah.
And my contestants today, I have Mr. K on the phone. Mr. K, are you there?
Yes, I am probably.
And, Mr. K is joining us from Wichita, Kansas.
Hi.
And he's going to be competing against Vienna. Vienna, I hope you can see the questions here.
I can't see the questions, but I would prefer if Kristina and I were a team.
Okay.
So
You know what?
We can fail and succeed together.
I don't know
Teamwork,
about that.
teamwork.
That might be cheating. I'm going to have Kristina help one of the two of you. Either you or Mr. K.
I believe in you.
Fine.
Yeah. So now you get to choose. Ibuku, they have 15 seconds. Yes, we're getting, quick with this
15 seconds per question?
Yes. So once I give it to you and I give you the options, you choose only one. There are only two options. So Vienna, no cheating. So Vienna, you go first. Choose between question 1 and 10.
10.
Uh-oh.
I don't know why I did that.
Started from the bottom.
Yeah, no, started from the bottom. Yeah, maybe that's how I win.
You
Maybe
should
that's
know
how I
this.
win.
That's how you win.
How many countries are in Africa? Hold on. A, 54 countries according to the UN. 53 countries according to the AU. That's the first option. B, 50 countries according to the UN. 51 according to the AU.
Okay, so I'm going to go with A.
And that is correct.
Yes. Thank you, Kristina. Yeah, she was saying, she was winking
It was
A.
telepathy.
Uh-oh. And Mr. K, what number do you want?
I would go with 6.
Number 6. 6 is a lucky number. Which African nation did Winston Churchill once call the Pearl of Africa? A, Uganda. B, South Africa.
The fall of Africa, is that what you said?
The Pearl of Africa.
And the options are?
A, Uganda. B, South Africa.
I will go with my gut feeling, and I would say South Africa.
Uh-oh, and that's wrong.
And time was up.
Up. Oh, the bell is for time up, right? Oh, okay, now I see. We have a bell. So, Vienna, you're leading with 1 point. Vienna,
Thank
what
you.
question do you want?
Oh, but the answer was South Africa, right?
No.
He said South Africa. The answer was Uganda.
Yeah.
I knew that. So I'll go with my favorite number, and that's number 2.
Number 2. The Victoria Falls are on what river? A, Zambezi River. B, River Nile.
That's easy because I just have to guess, and it's B.
And that is wrong.
That's how I knew it was easy, because it was too easy. Yeah.
So, Mr. K, you have a chance to level up right now. What number do you want?
I know. I think I would just go with 4.
Number 4. Which African country became independent from Spain in 1968 and is the only Spanish-speaking country in Africa? A, Equatorial Guinea. B, Angola.
Well, I know Angola is Portuguese speaking, so I'll go with Equatorial Guinea.
Correct.
It's a tie. I don't like this.
It's a tie. So
I don't like any of this right now.
So let's see. Vienna, you have a chance.
Do I? Okay. Number 7. Lucky number 7.
I have to tell you that this week people are doing well. At this point in the game, usually we don't have any point yet. Number 7, which is my lucky number.
Oh, jeez.
Which country was called Upper Volta until 1984? A, Burkina Faso, B, Ghana.
Kristina, we have like 10 seconds.
No, Kristina is not on your team yet. I get to decide. I get to decide
Okay.
whose team she's on.
Repeat the question quickly because we have 15
Which
seconds.
country was called Upper Volta until 1984? A, Burkina Faso, B, Ghana.
Fine, I'll just go with A.
A, Burkina Faso, and that's correct. Yes!
I never win anything. This is exciting. This is new for me.
Uh-oh.
Should I feel this way? I don't know. Yeah?
Mr. K, what question
good.
do you want?
Feels good. Thanks.
I'll go with number 8.
Number 8. Wow, this is a hot one, I'm telling you. Which of the following is among Africa's 5 Portuguese-speaking countries? A, Mozambique, B, Mauritania.
Oh, the answer to that is Mozambique.
Correct. Correct. This is getting serious now. Are we going to have a winner today? This is... Nobody
I
wants
think so.
I can hear him typing on Google, but I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything.
What question do you want? She
Okay.
doesn't have game spirit.
I'll go to number 4.
Number 4. He's already taken.
Oh, I'm gonna do that. Number 1.
Number 1. Africa is the second largest continent in the world.
Yeah.
And it covers how much percentage of the world's land area? A, 20%, B, 30%.
20%.
That is correct.
I'm telling you. This is how I did the SATs and the GREs.
Oh,
I just...
And you weren't playing.
And I'll
Take a wild guess.
Yes.
Mr. K.
Well, since you went with number 1, I guess I'll go with number 2.
Number 2 is taken.
Oh, okay. Number 3.
Number 3. Even I didn't know this question when I was doing it. Which of these animals are not found in Africa? Which of these is not found in Africa? A, lions, B, tigers.
Let's say tigers.
Tigers, and that is correct.
That is the easiest one ever.
I didn't even know.
Everyone knows Lion King.
I
It's
had
African.
no idea tigers were in Africa. I'm telling you. I was like, what? This
Or not
question
in
was-
Africa. I'm surprised that was not my question because it's the Lion King.
No,
It's the
what?
Lion
I was like,
It's
what?
the most
Simba.
Yes, Simba.
I
Simba
had-
is Swahili for a lion. I can't. I can't.
I had no idea. I was
This
like,
is
Tope,
ridiculous.
how are you writing these
I know.
questions?
I was like, I said, no, both of them are found in Africa. Are you kidding me? Lions, tigers, they're in Africa.
I can't.
And I just tried to read. I was like, no, tigers are not in Africa. I'm like, seriously? No? Oh, okay. Wow.
The more you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
And if you enjoy these quizzes and you want to play with your friends, please go to the AfricanMemoryGame.com. They're providing these questions to us free of charge.
Aw.
Free of charge. Just because they want people to engage Africa. So, Vienna,
Number 8. Are we done with it already?
we're done with number 8.
What's left? 9?
Number 9.
9. I'll do 9.
Number 9.
Just do it. Bring it. Bring it.
It's Africa's 7th largest lake. And it's on the border of the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda. What is the name? A, Lake Albert. B, Lake Rukwa. Did you just exclaim in Swahili?
All right. So what are the 2 options again?
Lake Albert or Lake Rukwa?
You know what? One of my uncles is Uncle Albert, so I'm going to go with that one. He's great. He's awesome. Hi.
And that is correct.
Thank you, Uncle
Oh.
Albert.
Thank you, Uncle.
And you know,
I am such a winner today. I can get used to this.
yeah.
I like this.
And the final question is also about Lake Albert.
Oh.
Yes. And Mr. K gets to have it.
Before, could you tell us the score? What's the score right now? So I know who's about to win.
If he gets it, it's going to be a tie.
Oh, so we'll both get the trip to South Africa? What is the word again? Okay, whatever. We'll talk about it later.
So, Lake Albert used to be called what? A, Lake Mobutu Sese Seko. A, that's... Ibuku's face is making me laugh. Lake Albert used to be called what? A, Lake Mobutu Sese Seko. B, River Nile.
Okay, let's see. I know River Nile runs through that country. I think I'm just going to, B.
And that is wrong. And it used to be called Lake Mobutu Sese Seko. And we have a winner. But we want to thank We want to thank Kay for playing. And I think that this, honestly, has been the most interesting. Usually, we never get people to, at this point, people are still thinking, scratching their head, and everybody's still 1 point versus, 0 point. But to recap again, this segment is supposed to help us to engage Africa. Yeah. We can't engage the continent if we don't even know, anything about the continent. Mm-hmm. You want to promote tourism in Africa, and you don't even know where River Zambezi is. Hey, what about that? You don't know Lake Victoria. You don't know. So where do you tell people to go? So if we really want to engage Africa, we have to begin as Africans to know about the continent, ourselves. Yeah. So thank you, Kay, for playing. Thank you, Vienna, for playing.
You guys are welcome. I'm just expecting my gift before I leave. Thank you.
You know what happens?
Don't push me out before I get mine.
You're coming to the semifinals.
Oh, I can come to
Yes, you're coming to the semifinals. So all the winners in June and July are going to come, slug it out. So.
Oh, let's do this. I guess.
So it's going to be interesting. But before we, wrap up the show, I want us to talk about your college tour once again, because I think that's very important.
Oh, thank you. So I was talking before about the Invisible Neighbors, and the website is theinvisibleneighbors.com, and I created it as a need for empowerment for youth to see themselves in the future. When I first came to this country, I really didn't know who to look up to. I didn't have people that had a shared experience and a platform where I can know that we have a shared experience. So I wanted to express the amazing contributions that immigrants have made in this country and they continue to make. So I would like to go across the country and challenge this notion that, immigrants and first-generation Americans have unique cultural motivations behind what they do, what they choose to study, and what careers they go into. And I think in a year, I want to be able to have data or just information about this demographic that can inform the next chapter. It's truly exciting, and if schools and officials, whoever, want to reach out, they can reach out to me on the website, theinvisibleneighbors.com. And I'm also looking to partner with corporate sponsors. It would be great to partner with a foundation, but I think it's great right now with utmost scrutiny on lack of diversity in tech. I would like to partner with tech companies, like Google or Facebook or LinkedIn, whatever you want.
You know what? Because Worldreader is on this program, they're most likely going to hear this because they'll be tweeting.
And they saw me win, so they know I'm a winner.
Yeah.
They knew that already.
Oh my God.
What?
I told you it was going to be a fun show. But I really want to thank you for coming. This is the first time on the show since I've been doing it since 2013 that I've had a co-host.
Oh, thank you, Tope, for trusting me. You should not have done that, knowing me.
But you're a winner, so that's all that matters.
I know. That matters, yes.
So knowing you, I knew that it was going to be fun. And I know that if I have to be in Nigeria in October with Worldreader, you can host the show.
Oh, I can replace both of you? Fine, I'll do it. Fine, I'll do it. You got me.
Yeah, you can be on the show. But I want to also thank you, Kristina, for coming, because you're not a DC native. We can see she doesn't have a DC accent.
No, she doesn't act like, she didn't give us her card immediately.
No,
so
she didn't.
She's not from here. She didn't ask what we do, where we're from. We know you're not from here.
Yeah, no. She's from California. But I really want you to give my yeah.
I'm coming over. You know that, right?
Give me your card. Okay,
I'll give you my card after this.
That's a DC thing. But I want you to thank the rest of the team and to say that we're very grateful that finally United for Kids Foundation is taking the e-readers to Nigeria. And we're really excited. And I think that Worldreader will not be the same after you get to Nigeria. I promise you.
We believe it.
I promise you. It's not going to be the same. So thank you so much for what you all do. Mm-hmm. I think this is fantastic work. And I think that, when we're talking about aid effectiveness in Africa, this is it. When you're giving people the tool to succeed.
Exactly.
This is what it's all about. And thank you to everybody who has watched and everybody who is listening. I know my dad is watching in Nigeria. Aww. So thank you, Daddy, for watching.
And my oldest brother, Ryan, is watching in Singapore.
Oh, wow. Thank you. See, we're getting this global thing right now. So this is great. Thank you so much, everybody. And thank you, Ibukun, for always keeping me to time, for being here as well, for Adil Okupe and every other person who is helping Impact Africa, and to all our sponsors. And if you want to support Impact Africa, please visit us at impactafricaonline.com and follow us at Twitter at @UImpactAfrica. Thank you so much. And until we meet again next week, please keep impacting Africa. Good morning.
Thank you for tuning in to Impact Africa. Please join us again next Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. GMT, at listenvisionlive.com. Have a good week and keep impacting Africa.
Okay. And I'll probably be working out of here soon as well. So, you know, my wife works in D.C., so I'm in D.C. every day.
That's what's good. And I mean, like, was this a place that you thought you was going to be in? Like, you thought you was going to be back home?
Can you see it? The worst is over. The monsters in my head are scared of love. Finding people. It's never too late.